Imagine a time over 5,000 years ago, where the Korean peninsula was just beginning to see the rise of its first ancient kingdoms. In the vibrant tapestry of human history, the dawn of Korean civilization is a compelling chapter. It was a time when the first Korean kingdoms began to form, setting the stage for a story that would span millennia. Among these early kingdoms, Joseon, dating back to around 2333 BC, often stands out as the earliest Proto-Korean state. Founded by Dangun, a figure of both historical and mythical significance, Joseon was a society that thrived on agriculture and metallurgy, with bronze culture playing a central role in its development. As the centuries rolled on, the Korean peninsula saw the emergence of the Three Kingdoms period, a time when Goguryeo, Baekje, and Silla, the three major kingdoms, ruled the land. Each kingdom, with its distinct culture and traditions, added a unique hue to the kaleidoscope of Korean history. Goguryeo, the northernmost and largest of the three, was known for its military prowess and artistic achievements. Meanwhile, Baekje was celebrated for its maritime strength, cultural influence, and advancements in architecture and art. Silla, although the smallest, would eventually become the most significant, but not before it developed a reputation for its gold craftsmanship and Buddhist culture. The Three Kingdoms period was not just a time of political and territorial battles, but also an era of incredible cultural and technological advancements. It was during this time that the Hangul script, the unique Korean alphabet, was developed under the aegis of King Sejong the Great. This system of writing, designed to be easy to learn and use, marked a significant leap in Korean literacy, effectively democratizing the written word. As the Three Kingdoms period drew to a close, the Silla Kingdom, in alliance with the Tang Dynasty of China, succeeded in unifying the Korean peninsula. The unification of the Three Kingdoms under the Silla dynasty was a turning point in Korean history, signaling the end of a tumultuous era and the beginning of a new age. With the unification of the Three Kingdoms under the Silla dynasty, Korea stepped into an era of prosperity and cultural blossoming. As Silla's reign came to an end, a new era known as the Goryeo period began, marking a golden age in Korean history. The Goryeo dynasty, spanning from 918 to 1392, was a time of immense cultural and technological advancement. One such innovation that flourished during this period was the art of woodblock printing. The Goryeo dynasty was a time of enlightenment, where knowledge was highly valued, and the invention of woodblock printing played a significant role in the dissemination of this knowledge. This period saw the creation of the Tripitaka Koreana, a collection of Buddhist scriptures carved onto 80,000 woodblocks. It was a monumental feat, a testament to the dedication and sophistication of the era. The Goryeo period also saw the spread of Buddhism as the state religion. The belief system deeply influenced the kingdom's culture, arts, and politics. You could see its impact in the architecture of the time, where temple complexes were grand and intricate, serving as the center of cultural and religious life. But it wasn't all golden. The Goryeo period was also a time of conflict. The Mongol invasions of the 13th century brought about significant changes. The Goryeo kingdom found itself under the Mongol rule for nearly a century. It was a difficult time, but it also led to cultural exchange and influenced various aspects of Korean society, from dress and music to technology. In the face of invasions and political upheaval, the Goryeo dynasty managed to leave an indelible mark on the cultural landscape of Korea. Its contributions to the arts, religion, and technology continue to resonate in the present day. The Goryeo period, despite its challenges, left a profound cultural legacy that influences Korea to this day. The fall of Goryeo ushered in the Joseon dynasty, an era that would last for 5 centuries and shape modern Korea. Now imagine a society tightly bound by Confucian ideals, where the individual's role was dictated by their status and gender. This was the Joseon dynasty, spanning from 1392 to 1910, a period that significantly influenced Korea's culture, social structure, and legal system. The Joseon dynasty was a time of intense philosophical introspection, with Confucianism replacing Buddhism as the state religion. The society was meticulously stratified, with a clear hierarchy of king, scholar officials, commoners, and slaves. This system, while rigid, allowed for a degree of social mobility, further cementing the influence of Confucian ideals in Korean society. But the Joseon era was not all about philosophy and social order. It was also a time of constant threat and turmoil. The dynasty faced numerous invasions, most notably from Japan and Manchuria. These invasions, coupled with internal strife and political corruption, left the kingdom in a state of perpetual vulnerability. In response to these threats, the Joseon dynasty adopted an isolationist policy, cutting itself off from the rest of the world. This policy earned Korea the nickname Hermit Kingdom. The kingdom's self-imposed isolation was not merely a defensive measure. It also allowed for the preservation of Korean culture and traditions, preventing them from being swallowed up by the influences of more powerful neighbors. However, this isolation could not last forever. The dawn of the 20th century brought with it a wave of imperialism that even the Hermit Kingdom could not resist. The Joseon dynasty, weakened by centuries of invasions and internal strife, eventually fell to Japanese occupation, marking the end of 500 years of history. The Joseon era, marked by invasions and isolation, laid the groundwork for the Korea we know today. Despite its challenges, the Joseon dynasty's legacy lives on, influencing the Korean peninsula's culture, social structure, and even its modern-day geopolitical situation. The 20th century brought with it tumultuous change and conflict for Korea. As the calendar flipped into the 1900s, Korea found itself under the grip of Japanese imperialism. Starting in 1910, this occupation would last a grueling 35 years. Japan sought to suppress Korean culture and identity, enforcing its language and customs upon the people. Schools taught in Japanese and even Korean names were replaced with Japanese ones. Despite these oppressive conditions, the spirit of the Korean people remained unbroken. The end of World War II in 1945 saw the liberation of Korea from Japanese rule. However, this joy was short-lived as the country was soon divided along the 38th parallel. The North fell under Soviet influence, while the South was supported by the United States. A line on a map soon became a chasm between two differing ideologies, setting the stage for a conflict that would shake the Korean peninsula to its core. In 1950, tensions boiled over into open warfare. The Korean War, often referred to as the Forgotten War, was anything but for the Korean people. The next 3 years saw a seesaw struggle, with the front line oscillating back and forth across the 38th parallel. Cities were razed and rebuilt, only to be razed again. Families were torn apart, not knowing if they would ever see each other again. Yet in the face of such adversity, the Korean people's resilience shone through. The war ended in 1953, with an armistice rather than a peace treaty. This meant that technically, North and South Korea remained at war. The Korean War had a profound impact on the Korean people, shaping their modern history and identity. The scars of this conflict are still felt today, a poignant reminder of the cost of war. The mid-20th century was a time of trials and tribulations for Korea, but also a time of resilience and determination. In the aftermath of war, Korea emerged as a divided nation, each half taking a different path. The Korean peninsula split along the 38th parallel, with the north taking a communist direction under the leadership of Kim Il-sung, and the south embracing democracy and capitalism under Syngman Rhee. North Korea, officially known as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, has remained an isolated, totalitarian state with a centrally planned economy. The regime's focus on military power and political control has led to widespread human rights abuses and economic hardship for its citizens. Contrarily, the Republic of Korea, or South Korea, embarked on a journey that would see it transform from a war-torn agrarian society into one of the world's leading economies. This remarkable growth, often referred to as the miracle on the Han River, was fueled by a focus on education, technology, and industrialization. The South Korean government fostered the growth of conglomerates known as chaebols, such as Samsung and Hyundai, which have become global powerhouses. But the South Korean miracle is not just economic. The country has also made significant strides in the cultural sphere. The world has been swept up in the Hallyu wave, a global fascination with South Korean pop culture. From the infectious beats of K-pop, represented by bands like BTS and Blackpink, to the gripping narratives of Korean dramas and films, South Korea has become an influential cultural exporter. The political situation on the peninsula remains tense, with the North and South maintaining a fragile peace. However, despite the political divide, the Korean people's spirit of resilience and innovation endures. From its ancient kingdoms to its modern-day success, the history of Korea is a tale of resilience, innovation, and enduring cultural pride. Korea, a nation with a history fraught with challenges, has proven its ability to adapt and thrive, offering the world a rich tapestry of cultural and technological contributions.